Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And how about this for a start? This is out of bounds.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They begin the drive with Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
And that's definitely the way to get things started. That's the way it was drawn up in the locker room, in pregame, and everything. And they got it done right away, running the ball for a big game.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 35-yard line. Again, it's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The Broncos at 4-8 now on the year. Now, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson. Man open. He's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching them try to take away that area of the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Trent McDuffie
drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. The kick by McManus is good.
Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety. Well, Charles, I've heard of backing up to avoid the rush. I think this takes that to a whole new level.
And not upper level either.
Returning it, here's Hamler. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. This defense for the Chiefs, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. To Gordon, out left. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back, but how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Oh, and they had him stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down, and that looked like a clear face mask to me.
So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson.
This is Hamler on the crossing route. He's got it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost.
Touchdown, Broncos! Jerry Jeudy, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Broncos are in for 6. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again.
He's got him in, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 75 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
Mahomes will throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
After one, our score, 12-6. Throwing on 2nd and 8, Wilson. They're looking for Jeudy, but it's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And with that, his guys take the lead here by a point.
Makes the score. Chiefs 13, Broncos 12. Harrison Butker and the kickoff 14-6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick six.
And going for Hamler, but this is intercepted.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
This one swung.
And I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like this,
it is cold.
And it is cold, it's also slick that way because you're not able to really grip it the same way. Your hands are cold, and then the hits seem harder. So, yeah, it's a lot more difficult to hold on to the football, which means you have to emphasize it that much more.
Wind chills right now, 12 degrees. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when you intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well. And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And he's got Hardman in the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
And he is going to come up empty here as they stop him short of the goal line, and this will remain a 1-score game as the lead holds at 7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke because, all right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. They go play action with Wilson.
Got his man, it's Dulcich.
So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if I would keep having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action now. Wilson. This will be caught. Jeudy. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos get a bit closer in the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Wilson going to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So they do get it. And the 2 points. Now they're back down to a one-score deficit. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the first down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Well, quickly to Kelsey. And he's got some space here. And did he get in? No.
They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Jones is in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll let this go deep for Sutton.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, the first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. It's Quinton Dunbar with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs.
You have to ask the question, where was the help? Because it's not that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
Throwing now is Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs continue to pull away here in this first half.
They'll look to throw. It's complete. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
KJ Hamler on the return. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
On 2nd and 10. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And now here's another interception. It's Quinton Dunbar with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown. Travis Kelce with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Harrison Butker, kickoff for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I want to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target.
And he goes out right around the 39. That'll go as a pickup of 8. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. It's Quinton Dunbar with a pick, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, he's going to take another shot here. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback And they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. K.J. Hamler in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. 1 second, all that remains. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you on out to our studios in Orlando. Here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Patrick Mahomes, he can do everything seemingly, and that time he just reared back and let it fly.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Wilson will throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So that challenge, a successful one. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce with career touchdown number 70. And the Chiefs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is going to lose yardage here.
They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle.
And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate that wasn't picked off.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Back to throw. Wilson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
Thanks to Frank Clark, that play was doomed from the start. What a job defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch. And that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he is going to have a Broncos first down, as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th.
That's good for the Denver Broncos. First and 10 at the
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They try the left side here with Williams. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
88 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
On second down, Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. That second down play nets a -4. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays getting into the offense.
Touchdown, Broncos.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam.
A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Catch is made by Hardman. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mahomes
throwing the out route here, and it's complete to Kelsey.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Touchdown! Ronald Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Chiefs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Butker now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back.
Finding space at the 40. Down the sideline he goes. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20.
A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Chiefs are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 34 yards.
And the Chiefs add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And now here is another interception.
picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
What up, Brody?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
What'd you say? Oh, he trash, though. Hey, this nigga trash. He's trash. You got superstar already?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays.
You guys, what playbook you still been using the same playbook? Oh, you made a custom?
X, Y, and Z, and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
What's your record there? What's your record there?
Now Wilson.
Oh, you undefeated?
It's caught on the right
with the Lions?
And he is going to lose yardage.
Super Bowl bomb.
Losing 3 there. Second down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a
You
loss
might got
of
some
yardage.
cheese over there.
It's really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
It's third and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
And my goodness, another interception.
Like, not even a GG?
With great field position at the 41-yard line.
No GG? Hey, what is you doing to people?
For that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
Ah, damn, you can't get a GG. You busted some ass.
I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But Charles, they're still
nigga can't get a GG. You whooping some ass, man.
Huge lead, and some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly
nigga,
right.
quit now. You let you get all your stats.
It'll certainly help you come contract time.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the way out there.
No way.
It's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. There
taking their shots, trying to add more points.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how
Jared Goff for X Factor, huh?
60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their playing this thing.
What he got? What you got him on? Like, what?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From the 10.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30.
Man, I'm gonna put 100 on him. He got 93 points, man. I would have been what? I would have been quit this bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man, why would have quit this bitch so fucking fast? Man, you ain't gonna put 100 on points. You ain't gonna disrespect me like that. Not 100. I would have quit this bitch so motherfucking fast. And I'm sending the goons at him too. He ain't got time to throw the ball.
Last shot for Wilson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And as this defense walks off the